my docket, and definitely Heather, you didn't know he was in. Oh, Heather's saying $10,000 personal bond. So, so whenever you picked him up, how did you find out that he had this case? Heather, you're really good.
We're not that good, but I appreciate it.
Well, actually, I was giving props to my people for finding it, but fair enough.
So MSP called and put a hold on him for this DV charge, but he was saying that he got arraigned on it while he was in our custody.
Do you know what? Well, it's interesting because when I look at the file, I saw him in August and I put a no contact on, and he has no email address, by the way. And I said, when setting for a pretrial, verify that the defendant is not in MDOC. So he must have told me at the arraignment that he was possibly going to be picked up.
Which jail do we have him in, Your Honor? Which jail is he?
He's saying he's in Washtenaw County, although I have Wayne Division 3 on too, which I imagine is our other in custody, which is Lyons.
Did somebody
hang on one second? Are you Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
Okay, hang on, Mr. Lyons. All right, so for Mr. Mims, Mr. Batard, do you want to talk to him?
Yes, I would like to.
And then you can get his status. What's his jail status with Washtenaw County?
He just had an exam today. He said he was going to post his bond. I don't know what that information is right now.
Okay, so you were making sure that this wasn't a hold, and it's not. But if you can you put him in front of the camera and I'll let him talk to the court-appointed attorney?
Yep, he's on his way. And then can you guys fax us his dispo saying he's got a PR or anything? Or
yeah, we'll get it from you when we're done. If we can do the case and then when we're done, we'll send you. We'll have Heather. Heather, is that okay if you send them over something? If I get an email, I'll get a fax number. All right. In fact, will you give me a fax number right now?
Yep, it's going to be 734-975-4775.
And that's Washtenaw County Jail. To anybody's attention?
Yeah, let me verify I got that.
Mr. King, in the meantime, while we're waiting on Mims, is there an offer? Mr. Bowditch, while we're waiting on this, will you talk to Mr. Scott?
He's in my office, Your Honor.
Okay, so just hang out, mute and hang out.
Your Honor, I gave you the wrong fax number.
Judge, could you send me and Mr. King into a breakout room so I can talk to him about Lyons?
Oh, you're on Lyons too.
Yes, remember we talked about Mr. Lyons.
That's right, we did talk about
All right,
that.
well, sure. All right. Okay, Mr. Lyons, hang out while we're waiting on Mims. I'm going to put you in a breakout room, Mr. Battar. You could talk to him about Mims and Lyons, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I have a new fax number.
No worries. What is it?
It's 734-973-4775.
973. Okay, perfect.
I have Mr. Mims here.
All right. Well, it's going to be just a second, and since I put them in a breakout room, so just have him have a seat. And Mr. Mims, come on in and have a seat, and then we'll do his case first, and then Mr. Lyons, it'll be just a minute, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Mims, your court-appointed attorney is in a breakout room. We're going to send, my understanding is that you're trying to post bond in Washtenaw County Jail. When we're done with the hearing, I'm going to have one of my disposition clerks up front fax the paperwork indicating that you're on a personal bond with us so that you can post and take care of your other matter, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yep, you're welcome. Just hang out for a few minutes though, and we'll get to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and I guess I didn't address you. Miss McDonald, what time is your case?
I was told at 11:15.
Okay, are you a victim?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Are you the victim on Mollenkopf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have the prosecutor in a breakout room right now so I want you to wait for just a second, but Mr. Nunley is Mr. Malenkow's attorney. They're asking for a jury trial, so I'm setting that in, cases to be set for jury trials. We're not setting jury trials right this moment, but if you have any questions, let's wait for Mr. King and then you can ask him, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yep, just hang out just a few minutes.
All right, Your Honor, Mr. Vitar and I have talked. I guess he's ready to speak to his clients.
All right, Mr. Batar.
Yes, Judge, I need to, speak with Mr. Lyons and Mr. Mims.
All right, let me see if this will let me close. Delete. My breakout rooms are all ending, so let me try again. Okay. Do you
Larry,
do you want me to put you in with both of them?
You can, that's not an issue. Well, you know what? I take that back. Let me talk to them separately, Judge. If I could talk to Mr. Lyons first.
All right. That would be Wayne County. Just hang out just a couple more minutes, Mr. Mims.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. King, you have Miss McDonald, who is your victim on Malenkov, set at 11:15. I told her that it was going to be set for a jury trial. Would you like a breakout room with her for a minute?
Sure, no problem.
And then she's free to go.
Wonderful. Hi, Ms. McDonald. Judge is going to put us in a
Hang-
breakout room.
Yeah, hang on just a second. 2, And Ms. McDonald, all you have to do is hit join.
Okay.
Mr. Nunley, actually, you're free to go if you want, because you only have the one case. If he shows, I'm pretty sure I can, let me make sure, we'll let you know if he shows up.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, you're all set.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Miss Rudd, if you hang out for a few minutes, can you hear me?
I can. Yes,
Your
sure.
MIDC attorney, Mr. Batar, is in a breakout room with another defendant. He has one more defendant in front of you after that, and then I'll call your case, okay? Do you understand?
I do.
Okay, good. Just hang out. All right, Mr. Batar, and Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, I have a couple cases in front of you. Mr. Batar is your MIDC attorney. He just got out of a breakout room with the defendant, and there are two other defendants in front of you. So just hang out and it'll be a couple minutes. Do you understand? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Hicks, you have to unmute yourself. Maybe.
Larry, just so you know, I have Rudd and Hicks also.
Okay, you said Rudd?
Yeah, Rudd is Nicole Rudd, and then Brian Hicks.
Nicole
All right,
Rudd, I
Mr. Lyons, let me see, I gotta get him out of the breakout room. Gotta love, let's see, there, okay, got him.
Rudd.
All right, on People versus Jerry Lyons, on behalf of the people,
Yes, good afternoon, or good morning, Your Honor. Larry King, P78774 on Capitol Hill.
and on
Morning,
behalf
Your
of
Honor.
Mr. Lyons,
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Lyons, P62191.
and we have Mr. Lyons from the Wayne County Jail. What are, you had an opportunity to speak to him. What are we doing with this case?
Judge, we're going to set up for a bench trial. Then I would like you to address his bond, please.
Is that a live bench trial?
Yes, Judge.
Pardon me?
Yes, Judge.
The date is November the 10th at 11:30. Looks like I'm gonna have
Thank
to do another exam date for you, Larry, as we're,
We're gonna have to pick another date here pretty soon.
yeah, that's okay.
Let me, bear with, I want to make sure that I go into my calendar and block that whole. November 10th. There, I blocked the whole date before.
Go ahead as to, bond.
Judge, Mr. Lyons was out on this case. There was a no contact order. This case involves his husband. They both reconciled. They ended up moving back in together. This happened during the pandemic where they got back together. Since that time, there was another incident where Mr. Lyons' husband was the suspect in a felonious assault against Mr. Lyons. Police came out. The husband does not want to pursue charges on that felony case, so the prosecutor did not charge him. I've talked to Mr. Lyons. I've stressed to him that even though his husband wants to have contact with him, he cannot have any contact with him while this case is pending. So I'm asking you to put him
But you
back.
talked to the victim, Mr. King?
I have spoken with the victim in this case, Your Honor, and what Mr. Vitar is representing is accurate.
Do you want me to lift the no contact and make it a no assaultive behavior?
I do not, Your Honor. Police have been out to this address way too many times. They were together at the address in violation of the no contact order, and that resulted in the police being called. I don't think it's safe for these two to be together, despite the fact that the witness wants to have contact. There's a pending and open DV case. There are multiple police runs to the house. I would ask that bond remain the same. We had a hearing on this matter after the incident happened.
I see that.
Judge Oakley on the 21st, and Judge Oakley
I see
amended
it.
the bond. I think in light of the circumstances, that's appropriate, and I'd object to modification of the bond.
Judge, I was not present for that bond hearing. It was a different MIDC attorney. I'm here now, and regardless, I agree with Mr. King with respect to this. Mr. Lyons does not have to go back to the house. You can leave the no contact order in place. He will go live with his mother. We have a trial date set. If the complainant doesn't show, we'll ask for a dismissal, which I think is the likely outcome of the case. He's already been locked up for 2 weeks on this case. I would just ask you to give him back his personal bond. He'll go stay with his mother. I have the address for his mother, and he will not have any contact with his husband.
Your Honor, I think given the history of this case, if the court is inclined to release him,
I'll do
I
it with
believe
the
a
GPS tether. I'll
yes.
do it with the GPS tether.
And Judge, can I give you his new address then?
Yeah, go ahead.
22.
Oh, no, email it to Heather. She's
will,
gonna do the GPS tether, so email it to Heather, okay?
Yes, Judge. So that's personal bond with the GPS tether, correct?
Correct. And with the other conditions still in place, can't return, no contact. And then
You
we'll see you
understand that,
November the
Mr.
10th
Lyons?
at 11:30. Pardon?
I just said, Mr. Lyons, do you understand that?
I do.
And you're going to have to appear in court at 11:30 on the 10th. I will talk before then, though. I'll call your mom's number, okay?
Okay.
Probably going to take you a couple of days to get that tether on.
All right, no problem.
Okay. All right, we're all set, Wayne County Jail. Thank you very much, and we'll see you, Mr. Lyons, on the 10th of November. Mr.
Thank you.
Vitar, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Mims.
Thank you, Judge.
Or
Breakout room. Yes, sir. Larry, what's the offer on Mr. Mims anyways?
There isn't one.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm ready on Mr. Scott.
People versus, Ellery Scott.
Ready, Your Honor. Mr. Scott, come over here.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Scott is with me.
I know.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Scott. Your Honor,
Larry,
today's
on
date and
behalf
time
of-
set for a pretrial in this matter. We are requesting a bench trial. Mr. Scott is to my right.
I'm gonna set this matter for a bench trial on the November 10th date at noon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's live, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bowditch, if you could run those files back to me when you have a second.
Yes, Mr. King, right after we finish on here, I'll run right back to you. We did this live because.
And 11:30, 12 o'clock. All right, you're all set then. You can let Mr. Scott go and explain to me he's got to be here on that date. Bond conditions continued, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. Mr. Sweeting, do you have a retained attorney, Mr. Lewis?
As far as I know, he had some issues getting into the Zoom link. He should have figured it out before I did. But I think he got confused because I wasn't appearing on the docket.
No, you're on the docket. You're on the docket at noon.
At least on the website, it didn't show my name.
Okay.
There.
Well, it's not set until noon, so we'll wait for him or we'll try to, I'll have somebody try to call his office.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, just hang out.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Bitar, did you finish with Mr. Mims?
Yep, we're ready on Mr. Mims, Judge.
All right, let me delete the breakout room because I know they can't. The jail, they can't. And it's not letting me delete it now. You gotta wait a minute. And then, Mr. Bitar, you have Nicole Rudd next, and then Brian Hicks.
Yep, Larry, on Nicole Rudd, I do not have discovery. You're muted, Larry. We can't hear you.
Are you president 34th right now?
No.
So I can give you the file. Let me see if I have it online. If not, we'll have to get this adjourned.
On People versus Omar Mims, Mr. Bitar.
Daniel Bitar on behalf of Mr. Mims, Your Honor. Judge, let's set this for a bench trial in person.
Bench trial November the 10th at 12:30. Is he gonna be out of custody?
Judge, he tells me the only thing that's holding him right now is this DV case, but you indicated you would fax the paperwork over to Washtenaw to clear that
We're
up.
going to fax it over. They just gave us a fax number.
Yes, Judge.
Heather, she said she'd fax it over.
What time was that, Your Honor?
12:30.
12:30.
That's right after Mr. Lyons, Larry.
Yep. All right, Washtenaw County Jail, we are all set. Thank you for being timely this morning, gentlemen. And we'll fax you over the minute that indicates that he's on a personal bond.
Judge, before you let him go, Mr. Mims, I need a phone number for you to contact you.
734
Yes,
883
okay.
5574.
Okay, I'm gonna call you in a couple of days, okay?
Yes, sir.
And you don't have an email, correct, Mr. Mims? That's what my file indicates.
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll see you on November the 10th.
All right, thank you, man.
You're welcome. On Nicole Rudd.
Daniel Bitar on behalf of Ms. Rudd, Your Honor.
And Larry King on behalf of the people. Mr. Bitar has told me he's missing discovery. I'm checking my online system to see if I can send that to him. Unfortunately, I don't see that that's up on my.
So you want me to adjourn it to the November 19th date?
I have no objection to that.
November 19th, I'll be in a in-person, well, I have a pretrial in Romulus, but I also have an exam at 36th District.
It's a
let's-
judge, it's gonna go to another domestic it's the only other domestic date that we have right now. So I don't have a time though.
That's
What
fine.
time is your exam?
At 10 o'clock.
Heather, can you put this at 9? I'll make a notation to put it at 9 a.m.
Ms. Stroud, do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right, then we'll see you November the 19th.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
People versus Brian Hicks.
Larry King, P 78774, on behalf of the people.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Hicks, Your Honor. Judge, this is a case from 2014. I guess we should just set it for a bench trial if the prosecutor is not willing to dismiss.
It would be a 769 offer.
Set it for an in-person bench trial, Judge.
It'll be the November 10th at 1 o'clock.
Mr. Hicks, do you understand that?
Yes, but the thing is, I live in Florida.
He can appear by Zoom if you want to have him appear that way.
That's fine. Mr. Hicks, you're going to appear by Zoom on that date. Do you understand that?
Okay. And did you have my current address where I can at least, you said
I'm
it was
gonna
November
go, let me
10th,
go
right?
off of the live stream. Hang on a second.